So you are blinded almost immediately, like searing into your eyes is this bright light.
Oh my
You
god,
know,
I cannot
like,
see.
oh
I
no,
cannot
being
see.
blind, the worst thing that could ever happen to someone.
You
Hmm.
feel
Oh
the
god, I feel
weight.
musical all of a sudden.
You feel the weight of a celestial, some sort of celestial weight, uh, force itself upon you.
Hey,
You are
I've never
barely able
felt
to
that every
stand.
time Lydian's entered the room.
I can barely
You are
stand at the
barely
best of
able to
times.
stand.
The worst part is O'Malley would probably tank this.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It beckons you forward, but you are unable to walk.
I've kind of thrown my.
Lydian,
Lydian, roll!
Lydian, it's
I guess
just
I
the
start
sun.
trying to
As
crawl.
the light envelops all your vision, an even brighter being seems to stand in the center of it. It looks to you, though it has no face, and it burns into your and its gaze burns into your entire body. You feel as though you are on fire, but you cannot roll to put it out.
Mainly because he's too.
I'm on fire. I'm fire. Oh god, this burns. This burns. Get me out of here.
As you try
Get me
to
out of this hell.
comprehend, there are so
Remember,
many
through that
voices.
god!
So many voices are speaking to you, all in different tongues. You can discern just a few of them. Some are speaking in
Hello,
Elvish, some are speaking in Common. The
hello
ones you
there.
can discern are telling you that you are yet to prove yourself.
One of them is Lord
I'll be up.
Tigard. God.
And as the figure approaches more clearly, you can see you can see it taking its form as a multi-headed beast, some kind of lion. And you can barely comprehend it's in the shape of that it's in this shape, but you can struggle to make out the form of a lion with some multiple heads. It stands before you, and you hear a voice drown out all the others, so much more powerful. Ask you, no matter the cost, will you do it?
If it'll get me out of here, I'll do whatever.
The, impressed by your ability to form words, it seems. It bows its heads and says, then take upon this power and banish the enemies. And all the heads come down to bite upon you.
Oh
Good
god,
thing he's
they're,
got that teeth
Roll
to bite
your
into.
wisdom one more time.
they're gonna eat him. They're eating him, and then they're gonna eat me.
And now roll your constitution. All right. So,
I've got 1 HP. I will have in a minute.
the light leaves you and you collapse onto the ground. Uh like again feeling as though you are on fire but cannot roll.
I think
But
Lydian's just been fucking shell shocked, to be honest. He's fucking.
but in your mind, scorched into your mind, you can see uh the exact you can see uh off somewhere distant. You have a vision of someone being prepared, someone being wrapped in bandages, someone with a fiery power someone with unmatched, with power beyond power, and you see exactly where they are and where they will be. You gaze upon the dead mother of the wolves, and she gazes back upon you.
Oh, like Sauron. Or Saruman. Well, no, like Sauron too.
Her eyes, her eyes almost obscured by bandage, narrow at you, and then she nods, and you hear the voice go, a voice go, then you shall burn as well. And then you're back in the center of the crowd. The flames feel as though they begin to dissipate, and you can start to move again.
Holy crap, Lydian!
What in the same hell did you just do to me?
You're still here, Lydian. That means you have passed its judgment. What did it tell you?
Told me. It asked if I would do whatever it took, if I would see off our enemies, and I had no choice but to comply. I saw a mysterious figure, her eyes obscured, and I was told, so you shall burn too. A creature lying with many heads approached me, and burn in searing agony, which I apparently could not be forewarned of. In fact, there were many things that I was not forewarned of. Am I still like in front of a fucking crowd, by the way? Am I still like
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all like staring at you.
Yeah, I am. I do hide that it was the I am hiding it was the den mother of the wolves I saw. That one I'm not.
Right.
That one I was like I'm keeping a bit closer to my chest at the moment. But yeah. There is a distant enemy that must be
Then
faced.
you shall see it off.
I suppose so.
People of Yuma, your champion has survived the judgment of the sun. Let us rejoice, but let us not celebrate.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
We will see this crisis through, and we will know what will become of us in due time. 2 days remain. Let us all redouble our faith and get through this together. And then
not
she
get
claps her
laid.
hands and bows her head. And the rest of the crowd does the same. The crowd
Does Nico
begins to
bow?
disperse.
No, Nico is probably being held up by the collar.
The crowd begins to disperse as Ava and Jean go down from their podium and start to approach you. The crowds are kind of being waved off now. And I'm assuming Cherry, November, Nico, they can all come
Yeah.
see you as well.
Sherry is very proud of herself.
So-
November looks quite concerned and mad, though.
Now, I'm going to say, during that whole experience, I described exactly what Lydian perceived.
Yes.
Lydian, while that was happening, were you tanking it like a boss, or were you like screaming like a child?
Screaming like a child. Like,
Okay, so
yeah.
from the perspective of everyone else before that, as that light beam was going upon him, obscured by the bright light that they couldn't look at, they just heard Lydian's like screams of anguish.
Don't know why
Lydian.
It's funny
I
they
can't-
couldn't see him. Just a beam of light and then fucking agony.
Yeah.
Lydian, I can't believe they tortured you.
That is frankly, if anything about this city, I can believe they did that. And my word, I've got proof. Lydian
Do you have it?
Lydian looks at Eva and goes, "Well, has that settled your misunderstanding towards me?"
Indeed, I must apologize again. She bows her head. I didn't believe fully, but now I do. Please
Actually,
save us.
actually, I have a question. Does he have a nice suntan now, or is he like lobster red?
I don't know.
All that all
Probably.
Actually, congratulations, Lydian. You have cancer.
Lydian's like tan now. His hair is now blonde and like spiky from
No.
the tips. You know, his mustache has turned into a goatee. He's just become Guy Fieri.
Oh,
There are definitely some burn marks on like his skin.
also cancer. I'm sorry,
I'm just
Lydian.
picturing like the anime, like like just the black lines. Like burn. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So Cherry looks proud of herself in November. Looks mad.
Yeah. At Cherry, like November has, like recognizes Cherry made this happen and did not make this clear to everyone else that this was the plan. And November is quite ticked off about that.
Well,
My Geiger counter is going off the charts.
what the hell's a Geiger counter?
Oh, it measures Geiger energy, which is what powers the sun.
They invented it after those guys in Terrebonne got radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Wait, guys in Terrebonne.
Wasn't it in Terrebonne we got the radiation poisoning and had to get that fixed up?
No, that was in that was
Marion,
in
I believe?
Osprey or
Oh,
Marion. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was Marion.
Marion. Yeah,
I think it was on our way south of the.
you were going from Osprey to Marion, where you found the meteorite.
right.
Yeah,
Never mind
and
me.
then you had
What
to
did
go
we
on
do in Marion?
the Vertex Casino and also
Oh
Morgan
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
King,
yeah, yeah.
and
True. I
you
forgot
had
we
to
owned a fucking casino.
yeah,
Yeah, from casino
you had
owner
to go on a
to
quest to get medicine
champion.
to cure Lydian's radiation poisoning.
Writing a letter, Dwight. You wouldn't believe what just happened to your boss.
There's Dwight.
Dwight's like,
Yeah, what
pretty well. We got a magic
say?
piano. We bought a casino. We met my cousin, and like set up a contract with building infrastructure. It's been a pretty good economic. And then I'm gonna sit this one out, guys. Meanwhile, Lydian getting touched by the gods.
Lydian like kind of slowly clambers to his feet, and he's just like, yeah, he's still staring daggers at fucking Cherry at this point. But he's just like,
He's blissfully unaware.
he's blistered as well. What? So
I'm surprised.
what? So what am I meant to do now exactly? I, I, Ava, cover your ears for a moment. I don't know in Sam hell what you're thinking making me a champion. Is this some kind of joke? Is the part of the prophecy that the fat businessman has to die? What is it? The
Yeah,
collapse.
I've gotta
What
be
is it? Stage 7, the collapse of capitalism itself.
I've got to be honest. Yeah, making Lydian is not a champion or anything other than the hot dog eating contest.
I smack him round the back of the head.
Jean puts a hand on Ava's shoulder and says, "The stars guide her every move. I believe in her and her star readings."
I didn't realize Cherry
Champion.
was a celestial object.
So yeah, holding on to Ava's hand, Jean just makes motions at you like okay, like what does like some hand signals at you like of just like be quiet and sort of implying okay we will talk about this later.
Oh, yeah, okay. Lydian,
But
bites his tongue.
but he out loud says, "Champion will Put it all in your hands. Won't we, Ava? As Ava says, that's all we can do. The hands, it's in your hands, and you will be guided by the stars.
The, what a load of what a crock of shit.
No,
Sorry, Nico. Did you want to be the champion?
No, I did not want to get assaulted by the sun. None of us should have been.
well,
You're
No,
getting assaulted by the sun every time you're outside in the day, Nico. That's
Don't-
why, Nico. You should invent some sort of, cream that acts like a screen against the sun.
don't you try and explain
Tiger energy to me. I invented it.
don't you try and invention explain me.
Okay. So yeah, with that, Ava puts her hands on your hands, Lydian, and bows her head and says, "All to you," before heading off with Jean and Till. And before Jean leaves to follow her, he looks at you and just says, "My office," as soon as she's to bed.
right. Your office as soon as she's to bed. We
Yes,
have
her
we
bed.
have a lot to discuss. What a mighty fine day this is.
So yeah. Do you have anything else to say to each other after
Oh,
you
I'm
next off,
sure.
or?
Yeah, after they leave. So, Cherry, everything has been settled.
She's beaming. She's so proud of herself.
You left out a few key details when you said you had resolved the issue.
If I told you in advance, you would have had doubts.
Isn't that a good reason to tell me ahead of time?
Think about it.
Because I'm going to be
You're-
honest, I wasn't told ahead of time, and I have a few doubts.
How do you feel?
Terrified? Scared? Like when you said, oh, you're not going to be publicly executed, that was a lie? Because, oh, I guess being publicly massacred is slightly different.
Well, I did say specifically I wouldn't use the word executed, and it is true that Ava wanted no harm to come to you. She certainly was rooting for you in that. I didn't say your life wasn't in any danger anymore, but I had faith in you.
And now so do so many others.
I suppose, but I'm a better judge of character than most people. Lydian, look, now, undeniably, we're in control of where things are going now. You're in control.
Assuming that I live to reap the benefits.
That's up to you, champion. So, did you get any cool powers?
Did I get any cool powers? No.
You have a vague sense of like where the den mother is.
Well, I happen to now know where the den mother is, or I have a sense of it. Like we're connected somehow. Is she the one that I'm gonna have to? Is she the one I'm gonna have to fend off? Was she the enemy I've been shown?
Most likely. Now, you say that you're going to have to fend off. That's not necessarily the case. Whatever happens now is entirely in your hands. Whoever you want to side with, what you see happen, and even if you do oppose her, I certainly don't think anyone, or at least any of us, are expecting you to go mano-y-mano, put your dukes up, and slug it out with her. You're not that kind of champion. If we are looking for someone to get in a physical fight, we'll still have the sun touched, or there are sure plenty of eager adventurers in town. That's not where your strength lies, and importantly, that's what the wolves would be expecting. That's not how you solve problems. You solve much bigger problems and on a far grander scale, Lydian. And I know that however you decide how you want things to shape up here, I believe you'll be capable of manifesting that.
Yeah, there's an
Sure,
idea.
Sherry, if I may, this all sounds like you wanting something to happen, even though it might not happen in reality. It sounds very contrived.
I don't think so.
I've got a
Look,
thought.
we were just on the side of things now, and we lacked control of the situation. We were in the middle of a fight between some very powerful forces, and at the mercy of those tides between Jean, the wolves, the sun-touched Neva, and the prophecy. Now we're setting the tempo, and everything's revolving around us and your gravity. You're at the center of this solar system now.
Right. As soon as I can,
They'll have to play your game.
I've got some ideas, but they can come after we talk with Gene and get some things cleared up. I need some of that mysticism explained to me in plainer terms.
Additionally, and then, getting closer to Lydian whispering, additionally, now that cards are on the table revolving your religious proclivities, the understanding seems to be that you are trying to reignite uh, another faith, a sleeping god, as it were. I figured having access to this much godly power, the power of the sun, might go a long way in that regard for you.
That sounds silly. Lydian wouldn't do that.
Wait, if that god looked, I don't know how much that god was able to sense of me, but surely it should have sensed that my allegiances lie elsewhere.
But your allegiances may be, for these purposes, aligned. And
Definitely not a
that's part
pope.
of what I considered. Lydian, if I had told you that this was an opportunity to use this god's power towards your own ends and your own religion, and that was on your mind, you would have been thinking about that. And since this was about judgment and all, I imagine the sun would have been able to see that. But that was the furthest thing from your mind in that moment. The idea hadn't occurred to you because you didn't know what was happening. So you were free from judgment.
Suppose, as far as my god is concerned, all that matters is their money spends good.
Yes. And now you've already passed judgment for the god of Yuma, so no harm, no foul.
That's not necessarily true, and we both know that, Cherry, but sure, this is the road we're on now. Choices have been made, and there's no getting off the road. So, may as well see it through. God, I can't wait to get out of this city. Get to where things start making sense. Taking a long vacation at the casino when we're done with this.
That sounds nice. Well, if you're feeling a bit warm from the sun, we could always go down to Terrebonne where it's
We are
nice and
not
chilly
going to
right now.
Terrebonne. I've heard stories about Terrebonne.
I'm curious why it's cold.
It's cold because it's at a lower latitude, and as we all know, the lower you get on the planet, the colder it gets.
False. We have canonically established that
Wow.
Hemlock is in the northern hemisphere.
I was banking on that for my joke because the irony is the closer you get to the equator,
Yeah.
the warmer it usually is.
Well, yeah, but just, I thought that, because that would be true if we were in the southern hemisphere, but as we
But
know,
my joke was
that is
banking
not
on me
true.
being wrong.
Yeah.
All
I was
right,
just
so
engaging. Fine.
shall we go to Gene then, or do you have anything else?
I think
If the
Lydian
member
is
has
going
anything.
to go and inform everyone else of developments, but don't worry, they don't specifically know. Actually,
Yeah.
no. I've just been made a massive public figure. I'm going nowhere near the fucking the group. No, never
Right.
True.
disregard that. Yeah.
True.
I am not making my allegiances clear whatsoever. If anything, I maybe send like a Star Guard.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say you could send November. She
Oh,
knows where they meet, and
yeah.
she's been staying mostly in the shadows.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So I give a message to November to just let them know that I have been suddenly made a very important figure. They know I belong to another religion. It's not ours. We will work with this as best we can. I'd make sure to phrase it in a way where, don't worry, this works to our benefits in the
Yeah.
But I've got an idea. I've got a frankly evil idea, but I think it will be fun.
Oh boy.
It's not a very smart idea either, but that's fine. We've got one day.
Yeah.
But but I do
Is your idea about to be revealed with Gene?
a little bit afterwards. It really depends on what he says.
Okay.
So are we breaking to? All right. Uh. So sending November. You're sending November off in the meantime, right?
Yeah, I send
And
November
the
off
rest of the
with
party, yeah.
with basically a message like detailing what just went down in the town square. I mean, that's presuming they don't know about it. They may do, but just so they know, I know they know. And I get
Okay.
to have my word in. Yeah, we go and the rest of us go and chat with Gene.
Real quick, I want to have a brief scene between November and Cherry.
Okay.
So as November is like, say, all right, I'll get it, I'll see it done. This is Lydian, is walking off with Nico, to Jean's office. Cherry lingers for a moment, and as November is glaring at her, and just, is there something you had to say? And November is going to kind of grab Cherry by the collar of the kimono and shove her against the wall. That was not your call to make. Lydian seems content with the result, and I'm sure he'll only grow. It doesn't matter. You work for him, and it's not your job to take actions like this uncovered. There are plenty of things you don't know, believe it or not. You do not have the full scope of the vision or the plan, and it is not your place to make decisions without consulting Lydian. And she's not quite gun drawn, but it seems obvious that that's where, if it were up to November, this would be disciplinary, but she's actually here. I can express it in dialogue. And Cherry, says, "Oh, really? So in the ranking of things, do I outrank you, or is this a equal to equal? Are you my boss now too? How's that work?" And November just kind of glares, narrow her eyes before setting, letting Cherry go, and then walking down the hall off to the thing. I have work to do. You do your job, I'll do mine.
All right.
Yeah. And I need to use the bathroom again, real quick.
Okay. Boy, this would be fun. So, I have ideas for the next scene, but I want to know. Can you give me an inkling of your plan in case since I don't want to torpedo it right away?
Okay. Well, it really depends on what the nature of it begins. Because hey, if I'm the champion, I'm going to ward off things. Then it's not exactly related to the Star Guard, but do you remember we talked about that refugee camp? It wasn't quite a refugee camp. Wasn't there a camp holding people who were traveling from out of the city?
Yes, there is. I think you know the guy who one of the flagged up potential contacts in the city was the guy running that, being very short of short-handed.
Well, they needed more people
I don't
to
know
kind
if
of
you
help.
met him. Did
No.
you? You might have gotten to see him.
No, other plans kind of interrupted that, but it is a source of people who are kind of desperate to get into the city, get out of there.
Yeah.
Basically offer them if you assist the champion in seeing off our enemies, we will kind of get you into the city itself. Basically, like outsiders are going to solve the problem, so we're going to have to welcome these up. Basically, bulk up our forces with a bunch of kind of Shanghaied conscripts.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just kind of padding our numbers out, basically reinforcing our numbers incredibly cheaply and easily with desperate people.
Hmm.
On the offer that you do this, we'll see that you actually get citizenship in Yuma.
Right.
That too daft,
Okay.
or does that make
Yeah, that's fine.
sense?
That makes sense.
But yeah, it does depend on, like, I'm going to explain what I saw to Gene, see what his response is, because yeah, Lydian just got a bunch of philosophical stuff he doesn't fully grasp, so
Yeah.
talk to him who's probably got more of an idea of it. Especially the fact that we're faking this prophecy, but we seem to be pretty locked in on faking this prophecy by doing the prophecy. Like we've really gaslit ourselves on this one at this point.
Oh, that's been what's been up in the air. It's just
Yeah.
like how Cherry was telling Gene,
Yeah,
like, oh,
exactly.
how do you know the wolves aren't just planning to do the full prophecy?
Yeah, and how do you know that
So
by
I think what's in
faking
question
the
now is
yeah.
like, are you still working with the wolves? How are they going to feel about what just happened?
Yeah.
That's probably what Gene
Which
wants to talk about.
that could be part of the idea is yeah, if we get
Yeah.
those people, then if we get a big enough force, then we've got leverage in case the wolves want to go too far. We've got like something that can fend them off.
So I guess you're approaching Gene now, and this is going to be absent November,
Yes.
or are you waiting for November to come back?
I don't mind either way. Like I don't know
I
what the
think
time.
absent November.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless, well, here, can I metagame it?
What?
Is Win gonna be there? If Win is there, I think it's more interesting if we wait for November.
Okay,
If Win
then.
isn't
Yeah.
there,
Okay, I'll give my hand away. Go ahead.
so is Win going to be there?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let metagame wait for November because it will be
Okay.
more interesting
Yeah.
if she's there. Do we want to do the scene of November talking to
No, we don't need to.
Okay. Yeah, she dutifully relays the information
Yeah.
as
Okay. So you walk into Gene's office, as Gene says, "Okay, well, have a seat, champion," he says,
Yeah.
sighing to himself.
this doesn't seem like a chair fit for a champion. Needs
Well, if
far
you-
more cushions and decorations.
Trust me, you may be unhappy about me being the champion. I am not in a much better mood about the whole situation. But there's a silver lining, and with me, I like those. So
What could be your silver lining here?
we now hold all the cards.
And we may have just pissed off the wolves.
May have. Now, I didn't say it when the lady was in the room, but when I was shown, after I spoke to that multi-headed lion creature, I was shown the den mother of the wolves. I can sense where she is, vaguely.
You did.
Does that
Very.
mean that she's our enemy, the one I must fend off?
The wolves were going to send. Were going to. It was either going to be her directly or she was going to be overseeing it. But yes, they were going to come in and they were going to stage their revenge on the Sun Touched.
Are we so certain they were going to stage it? Cherry has already brought forward the idea that maybe by pretending to do the prophecy, we're actually just doing the prophecy. Because
The deal was with the Sun Touched dead, we could work together, and I could be, and that I with Ava would be able to consolidate power into Star Readers.
Gene, are you really that naive?
Explain yourself.
Gene, look, I understand you're a religious man. You're not really you're not a real politician. I get it. But let me explain something. In situations like this where you have, adverse position, say they want to do whatever, but you want to get something out of this deal too. In order to get what you want out of it, you need leverage. At this point, say the Sun Touch is dead. What exactly is your leverage in that scenario?
That we would be the highest remaining religious authority in Yuma.
And they would be the military authority in Yuma. Do
Why do
you
they need you anymore at that point?
Because the people need their faith.
do they now?
Oh, but they don't need their Sun Touch. Their Sun Touch getting murdered, all of that. They'll just accept, oh, things are fine now, actually.
We
Gene,
would have
you are useful to them right now, and only barely. And frankly, now that Lydian's the champion, why do they need you? They have us.
Are you saying you're going to go bypass me and work with them?
No, I'm saying that we could, and you should be a lot more concerned about that. The fact that you don't seem to have considered that or been worried about that until just now doesn't speak very highly of your management of the situation.
All right, let me get down to brass tacks here. Cuz that's right. You're not a politician, you're a religious man. I'm a businessman and a religious man. So, let me put it in terms like this. While you may look for what glistens in the sky, I'm more concerned with what glistens down here on earth. We can meet in the middle on that one. You can have your city, you can rearrange it in any way you want, so long as whatever businesses I set up here when I'm gone can continue operating. My people will be in your cabinet. They are not going to turn on you. They have no interest in turning on you so long as we are allowed to conduct business. That's it. You'll be happy we're here, and you won't even know it. The wolves, they're a bunch of bandits from the outside. Less civilized, much more radical. You think they're going to be happy with your amount of change? Once they find their revenge, they're going to be angling for something new to do, for some new vengeance to fulfill, maybe. So what do you want? Do you want them, or do you want someone who only cares about stability when all is settled?
He adjusts himself and says, well, you offer something far more assured if you could pull it off.
Well, now, while we're holding a mighty good hand, I suggest we play it. Now, tell me. So, you're the one who understands the root of this prophecy. So, based on what I saw, that means I'm to come into conflict with the Den Mother. Is that it?
Yes, it looks like it.
Does the
And I
champion.
don't know how they feel about that. They haven't contacted me yet.
Well, look, I'm not saying for definite that they are going to take that route. What I am saying is, if it comes to it, it's best that we're in the best possible position to deal with it. So, we secure our forces. Now, being a champion, I pray, tell me that does not mean I have to do direct to the death combat with the enemies of the city. Is that correct?
There would be a confrontation. The confrontation was to be between them and the Sun Touch.
Well, I'm not the sun touched. I have been touched by the sun, but haven't we all? So we can
Lady,
we
and Lady, and should I prepare to make weapons for you?
make me some kind of UV beam or something so I can at least be appropriate. But I do not want it to come to that. I want to be, I want to, I will be a new kind of champion, a a champion of the people, in that the people will fight for their champion.
Then what do we offer the
Banger line.
wolves, if anything?
So I'm assuming I now have at least some form of political clout that I can play with in the city.
It's been granted to you, certainly.
And what form do those powers take? How far does it extend?
Well, as you've passed the judgment of the sun, you would have a divine authority to, uh, well, guide the faithful as long as the sun touched remains secluded.
All right. So,
If the sun touched were to challenge you, then it would come to trial by combat.
so if the Sun Touch challenged me, I would be dead.
Most likely.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's, uh, I don't know, what do I send him a gift basket, something to maybe make sure I'm in his good books? What kind of person is the Sun Touch? Does he realize that people are stealing scrolls out from under him? By the way, Win is here, isn't he?
Uh,
No.
no, he's
Oh.
not. You don't see him
Oh,
anywhere. So
okay,
you're not aware of his presence.
okay.
Yeah.
That scroll is missing. I'm just saying now that our cards are on the table,
I'm gonna be a bit, but
I have a direct
but-
line to a god who could maybe point us in its direction if we wanted to know.
I the sun touch has been locked in communion for weeks. It's a sort of it makes him a sort of it has put them in a sort of meditation where they can only sense vague happenings in the outside world.
Right. Well, let's hope that that
I
sunbeam won't.
don't know if this untouched knows of what's of or what it would feel of your own ascension to champion. But if they sense it and if they feel that their authority is threatened, then they might come and challenge you, which would mean challenging the Star Readers, which would lead to its own damn civil war.
Oh, yeah, when their holy figure says that they're. What are you, some kind of priest? Would that be the
We're a
most apt?
different breed of holy figure. We're
Right.
separate,
But there would be a schism, to say the least.
indeed.
Right. Let's just hope it doesn't come to that. In the meanwhile, I say a penny of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So, why don't we use my position to build a volunteer force? Not quite like the Star Guard, something more official, something more on the city books. Not quite military, more some kind of defensive force, some kind of civil guard kind of deal.
So you're fully intending to do battle with the wolves.
No, I am not intending to do battle with the wolves. I am making it sure they know that if their plan is to go all the way, it's going to be a much tougher hill to climb than they were expecting.
I see.
What's more, again, the point of Lydian as as champion is that he presents a much more broad scope of things than mere violence. I mean, the wolves, they are in some ways a criminal organization, or they want. I imagine they make money somehow. They could get starved out economically, access to their resources, things like that. But point being, really, when we get down to it, is that from the wolves' point of view, yes, the Sun Touched isn't the champion. Things have gone off book. However, the Sun Touched, they were never in control of the Sun Touched, and there was a plan for dealing with that, but that still element things out of control. Now we have Lydian as the champion, and if the wolves want to work with Lydian, the prophecy can unfold however much, however little, in whatever degree we so decide. And if the wolves aren't happy with, can't come to an agreement or some kind of arrangement with Lydian, then they are going up against an enemy that they don't understand and that they have not prepared themselves to deal with. It's chaotic, it's unpredictable, it's a bad business. So, really, what I think we need to be asking for is not what does Lydian need to do or what do we need to do to prepare about this. The big question is why, already said, the wolves don't need Eugene. Why do we need you?
Because if your aspect as champion, you would need. So if you were ever challenged on this, you would need the backing of our star readings. We are still de facto authority here now in Yuma, while the sun touches in communion and the high priest as well.
Yes, you and Ava, you and Ava. You know, Gene, I asked you this before, but I think the question bears asking again. What exactly, in your plan, in your vision of events with the working with the wolves, what do you think was going to happen to Ava? What was the future for her?
She would defer to me,
Would
and
she? Would she really? She would do, despite Suntouch being killed and the wolves moving in and gaining more power, she would trust your judgment. You could control her, is what you're saying.
of course I could. How
You
could
know, that
she?
little thing this morning, that wasn't just a joke. That wasn't just for fun. It was very fun for me, but it was also to prove a point. You don't control Ava, Gene.
It's just easy to talk her into leaving. Then you had to go and find her, and now she trangs on every word you say.
Guess I'm just better at your job than you are. So again, what do we need you for? Look, Gene, and Cherry stands up, like walks towards him. Let me tell you what was going to happen if we hadn't stepped in. Ava would either have died alone and scared in that hole, or gotten out, gotten back, been confused by all this that was happening, and you would have tried to convince her, and she would have talked with the stars, realized that you were a problem and had stopped listening to the stars a long time ago, and then the wolves would have ripped her apart and killed her. And it would have been your fault, Gene.
And where are you going with this?
Gene, you're not very good at this. And frankly, I don't see why we came here to your office. You seem to have this idea that you're at all in control of the situation. Right now, all you should be worried about is making sure that you're still useful to either the wolves or us.
He, his fist tightens on the desk, and he's like looks very angry, and he's about to say something when someone else just says, "Oh, she's got you there, Chief."
I'm back.
Whoa, it was Swede! He's the one
No,
who said it!
What?
A mysterious voice spoke up and said something, and then you were like, I'm back. So the joke was that you were the
Oh,
mysterious voice.
well, yeah, I'm pretty mysterious.
Cherry is humiliating Gene right now. She is
yeah.
belittling him.
Is it on the level of just make? Oh my, why are you doing this, Jerry? Why are you belittling him so much?
So, mind
Well,
mind
she's
ex-
got you there, Chief. And then sort of just
drops down from
uh,
the
uh,
ceiling
uh, uh,
rafters.
no, no. From a different door in the room, and walks Win.
Does
Decloaks.
Gene? Does everybody stay at your house?
What? How did you get in here? How are you? And then Win just goes and waves his finger. It's like uh waves his finger and just says, "Now come on. It's not as though you don't open this place up plenty enough." And he grabs his own seat and sits down and says, "So that was some interesting talk about the wolves just there."
Yeah. So I suppose we
It
don't have to
was.
give you. I suppose we don't have to give you the minutes of this meeting.
I suppose not. I mean, if you're setting up a contest, what does Gene have to offer, right?
Hineo, actually,
Yeah.
I was thinking Nico want to do something while these are talking about things Nico don't care about.
Why does Nico not care? This is like,
This has
Our
nothing.
lives, the future. Yeah.
I can't imagine Nico caring about what his politics talk. He has probably been inventing the fucking hot dog rolling machine in his head the whole time this has been happening.
Yeah, no, like
Nico, at some point randomly in the meeting, Nico just yells out, Eureka! And just like bursts out of the room, doesn't close it behind him. Then, like
No.
30 minutes later, as the meeting's like closing, Nico runs back, out of breath. I've done it! And then, presents like the fucking electric hot dog cooker or whatever.
Oh,
you know, since I was on it, I want Nico to jury his toilet. It's
why?
inefficient.
What the fuck are you doing?
no.
Yes.
He's not.
We at one point, as Cherry's deriding, when Win sits down, Win sits in the seat that Nico had been in, and like Lydian suddenly goes, "Wait, what happened to Nico?" And then we just hear like pipes bursting in the bathroom.
We just hear
I'm
it.
putting an Ixnay on that.
Okay.
Fine.
So
I'll make it canonical that Nico has ADHD though.
See, this is sweet. This is why you need to have two characters. I have one autistic child that doesn't care about this sort of thing,
True.
and then a conversationalist.
True.
Nico needs to have an apprentice who's good at talking.
Nico's backup character is just his fucking handler that we hire so we don't have to do it.
Actually, what level am I? I'm not too far off. I need to just roll more and fail more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you need to get involved in these conversations and like fuck up a bunch.
Yeah, true.
What's your alignment?
It's just showing off my.
Proving the value of your inventions, which he tried to do at the speech, but he got blockaded on that one.
True. I guess that's the problem. It's not that you're not making inventions and showing them off. You're just lack the social skill to make people appreciate the value of them.
Well, he's also in the worst city for showing off new inventions. A big traditionalist religious town is not they're just not interested.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck do they? Why do they want these things?
Okay, so
oh my God.
Yeah, so Winner's walked in, and Nico has been just sat staring at a wall for the last half an hour,
playing on their Game Boy.
Yeah, Lewin goes, still though, an army of poor stragglers and seekers against the entire weight of one of the most unknowable forces in the country. I wonder how that would play out.
Well, it wouldn't be
Please.
an army of stragglers. It would be an army of stragglers plus the Star Guard. Plus, I'm pretty sure the City Guard would have my back on this one. Playing the home team and all.
The point, as you well know, Win, is not that to challenge the wolves in some all-out war. Obviously, a force wouldn't be sufficient to defeat them, but it would cause chaos and distraction and make the situation more unpredictable for them, which Lydian thrives in.
It sure
and is all
would.
quite unnecessary.
It seems
But
to be.
I suppose that's up to you.
You and Jean have made the same mistake of assuming that I'm building a force because I want war. I'm building a force because I want peace.
Because you want stability, so you can further your coin spending, so you can let money flow. You just want Yuma to be open for business to you and your ilk. And you, he looks at Jean, well, you just want to hold on to some idea of power. And the wolves, well, they want someone dead. And now it looks like they want someone else dead too.
A question, Win, because while you're coming in here presumably to present a case why you're the horse we should bet on, who's to say you wouldn't stab us in the back?
Oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Where are you keeping that scroll, anyway?
Hmm, you saw that, huh?
I see many things.
Well, now, I'm just wondering how exactly. I'm just wondering exactly what you plan to do if the wolves put you to the test.
Well, maybe my preparations would explain that. I seem to have been thrust into a situation I didn't quite ask for. This is not the way things were meant to play out, but now that they have, I'm going to make the situation as favorable as I can. If you're going to assist in that, perfect. If not, then what are we dealing with here?
Well, let's just say I believe the wolves are very, very angry right now, and they might not be thinking too rationally.
So is that why you're here, to think rationally on their behalf?
Suppose you could say that.
I'm double checking
I
that.
Really,
suppose that does raise the question. Are you here to negotiate on the wolves' behalf or for yourself?
he smiles at you and says, "The wolves are trusting. The wolves are trusting me to, well, set things right one way or another. This is a pretty cramped room, huh?" He says, looking around.
I think it's pretty big myself.
And then specifically, this is a very cramped room, huh? Looking around, and then for a moment, his eyes are gazing at November's rifle on her back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a move. I think it counts. Backup plan: when you meet with someone on business, you may ask the GM 2 questions from the list below. That be applicable?
Sure.
Is there an ambush waiting for me? Fucking blunt question, that one. Just,
Yeah, that sure is.
I swear to God, that is just the wording. Is there an ambush waiting for me? All the rest of them are just as vague as ever, and then that one's like fucking paranoid as shit.
I feel like that should be more like, is this a trap or something like that, That's a bit more vague. Um that's so specific.
Yeah. The moment he said his office is a bit cramped, I think I'm gonna walk outside and there's gonna be fucking a line of wolves with rifles like, hey, we're already here. We are waiting down the road, actually, just like to come along and say, what the fuck are you planning? I'm so annoyed. I do not
I
have
don't
the.
think the wolves know that Lydian has magic, at least not to the extent that he does.
Probably not the
But he is
magic
a
part, but
caster.
yeah, but that hardly matters. The moment the den mother fucking saw him, like that fucking scene at the start of Half-Life 2, then it's like, ah, shit. I suppose that Gene has overstepped his bounds.
It's funny because Gene is really much more the Breen.
Yeah,
He's a wannabe Breen.
I want a Breen.
So true.
Do we want to reword that element of backup plan, or should we just?
Maybe. How would you like? What's like a question, a similar question to me that you would come up with that you think has a more free form answer?
Um, I might need some time
Hmm.
on that. It's like, but I'm trying to think. Like, would it be like, is this person playing me? Is there? I mean, the thing is, ambush is so big. Is there a? Am I being led into a
I
trap?
think is this a trap?
I
Yeah.
think am I in danger might be a good one.
Am I in danger? I think that could also be kind of covered by like, what are they really feeling, or what is my best way? I don't know, because who is watching is a. I'll give you the list of questions, but
Okay.
we can maybe I can ask another one for now, and we can kind of come back to this if we want to relitigate. But that's the four questions on backup plan. Is there an ambush waiting for me? What are they really feeling? What's my best way out of this? And who is watching?
Right. Uh,
Is there an ambush waiting for me and who is watching? They overlap, I think, as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So is there an ambush waiting for me? You get the sense that no, in the sense that there's no like
There's no
you don't get the
immediate
sense that,
danger.
there's like an immediate like a bunch of people jumping you.
Yeah.
He, he seems to be alone.
Okay. And I guess the second question, which is actually what I was kind of more curious about, I wish I fucking had inquiry loaded into my spells right now. What are they really feeling?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
So
Well, you got asked earlier.
Yeah.
this is a guy who is very interested in what you're setting up here, but he's also pretty confident that he can that after he hears you out, like he'll be like he's pretty confident that he's getting out of here alive. And that's his main concern. And he's
Lydian
just interested in what directions you're putting things in.
Lydian kind of leans forward, just chair creaking a bit, puts his hands on Jean's desk and just goes, "Win. Um a lot of cards are being put on the table right now. My subordinate November has warned me off of you more particularly, and you seem to be some kind of power player, and frankly, I suspect she wants me to stay away from you not entirely for my means, but for hers.